Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit with me, your nutrition coach. My name is Jackie Poole, and here we talk about mom life, weight loss, habits, nutrition, and pretty much everything in between. And January is the month for setting goals, for having that motivation, that drive, that happy spirit to welcome health into our lives. And people go full throttle during this month. As far as gym memberships go, January is one of the highest months for a lot of gyms because people sign up, people want to make changes. But when we do, sometimes all we're thinking about is how do we fix our metabolism? And let me tell you, if you are not alive, that means your metabolism is not working. So if you're alive and listening to me clear and well, let me tell you that your metabolism is working fine. Now, sometimes depending on our age, depending on how much muscle we have or how much fat we have, it can variate how we operate, how our metabolism operates, right? So sometimes you might know of this person. She is the person that can eat anything she wants and still be skinny and not worry about all that. And you might also be on the other side where you have to really be particular about what you eat, because if you let alone eat a cookie or a donut, your metabolism just goes through the roof and you're like, 5 pounds after that donut. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes our metabolisms do variate, but as long as you're alive, your metabolism is working. So let's start from the beginning, because we are going to be talking about how to boost our metabolism. You're going to get some tips, some takeaways, and you are going to get January started on a good note. So what is your metabolism? Metabolism is pretty much, I found a definition for you here. It's a chemical process that converts food or drinks into energy for your body. So like I mentioned earlier, depending on how old you are, depending if you're male or female, how much muscle you have, also the activity levels that you endure or that you partake in, that affects your metabolism. So I don't know if you've heard this, but another word for metabolism is basal metabolic rate. And in the coaching program, I teach you how to achieve a number that kind of gives you a guide of, how much calories you should eat, just kind of give you a guideline of where your body is based on your age, your activity level, your body fat. So it is very helpful to kind of guide you and start you on a track if you are trying to lose weight. Now, a slow metabolism can make it very difficult to reach or maintain a healthy weight, right? So I have some tips for you that are going to help you boost your metabolism and feel better, right? And so before I begin, these are some very simple, easy to do things. If you follow a well nutrition guideline, you're sleeping well, you're eating well, all of those kind of basic life needs, you will have a better metabolism. So know that a lot of those things do partake in how your metabolism works as well. Now, these tips can be implemented in your daily life super easy starting today. So if you are trying to boost your metabolism, burn more fat throughout the day, you're gonna want to listen to this for sure. So let's start with number 1, which is fill up on protein. So like I mentioned earlier, if you are in a good nutrition plan, if you are taking lots of protein in, protein, remember, is also really well for building muscle. Your body takes to burn more energy when you have more muscle. So, and also to digest your food, to digest protein, your body really burns more energy as well. So if you don't know how much protein to take, this is something that you also learn in the coaching program as we go along. So that's something that I've talked about before in previous episodes as well. Number 2 is really simple, is drink more water. You've probably heard of this countless times before, but if you don't get enough water, you're really missing out on some major metabolic benefits. So when you drink a lot of water during the day, especially if you're resting, that can definitely increase your metabolism, but up to 30%. The temperature of the water can also affect the energy that it's used to change the temperature of the water when you drink it. When I wake up in the morning, I do want to suggest that a nice warm glass cup of water can help your digestion as well. So that's not only an easy way to get your water in first thing in the morning, but it's also going to help your digestion, especially if you're going to be eating and filling up on protein. Number 3 is going to be increasing your activity levels, right? By maybe doing a HIIT class, that involves intense burst shorts of exercises. I like to do these when I can't go on my walks or the weather's super yucky outside or it's raining outside. Lately, these past few days, it's going to be super cold, and me and my son are praying that it's going to snow, hopefully, but we're in Texas, so we never know. But snow would be really awesome, right? So doing a HIIT class would be really great, and will help you also build muscle and build stamina, and not alone build and increase your metabolic impact as well. Now, we're talking about exercising and moving more. This also can be adding more strength training, which will help you build more muscle, aka have a faster metabolism. And you can also add something as far as reminders to stand up throughout the day. We tend to be very sedentary these days. If you work, I know I used to work as a medical assistant, and that kept me on my feet, and that I loved. But I know a lot of people that work from home, they tend to sit down a lot, or maybe trying like a walking desk. A great tip for you would be setting a reminder every hour to maybe do a couple squats here and there, or stand up, walk around the house. A lot of working from home or even a desk job also have that, right? So we want to make sure we are being reminded to just move throughout the day. So those are as far as movement. You have your HIIT, you can do strength training, or just set reminders of moving throughout the day. It could be the top of the hour, the bottom of the hour, whatever works for you. Now, moving right along, when people talk about boosting your metabolism, right away, some of the things that are in mind are boosting, maybe taking some supplements, right? And I am all for supplements, but when I talk about supplements, I want to make sure you are already doing this really basic natural things. And some of these are, because I am talking about fat burners, we're going to be talking about drinking green tea and drinking coffee. So both of these can increase your metabolism. I know green tea is been stated to increase your metabolism by up to 5%. Coffee can boost your metabolism by up to 11%. So it definitely encourages the body to use stored fat for energy. And those are great, especially if you're fasting, and really simple to take. Now, a rule of thumb here is you don't want to drink coffee too late, and before going to bed, because it's going to affect your sleep, as well as you don't want to take too much of something. Something good, if you take too much of it, can turn bad. So you want to take about 250, maybe 300 milligrams of caffeine per day. So that's something to watch out for. But as well as, when we're drinking coffee, we want to make sure is a good quality brand and that we're not adding sugars or creamers and artificial stuff. And I know personally, I love taking all of those, especially during the holidays. But for now, the way I avoid coffee is just I don't drink it at all, because I do enjoy the creamers. So right now, I am doing a digestion tea for the mornings. It's ginger and a green tea during the day, and those are really good. I get them from Peak Tea as well as the Herbalife tea. So those two are one of my favorites. And actually the Herbalife tea, I've been taking it for a really long time, probably since like 2016. It's a really great tea. It's very energizing. I feel when I'm drinking, I feel the energy without like all the jitters and all of those things. As well as the Peak Tea, I just ordered me a fasting one. So it has a little bit of caffeine, it has leucine, and all of these things that are really beneficial for helping build muscle and helping with digestion. So not only do they help your metabolism, but they aid you in other parts that are definitely worth partaking in. So if you are already taking those, we'll probably have a talk about fat burners another day, but for now I want to just talk about things that you can do now that you do not necessarily have to go and buy supplements for, right? Because most of us already drink tea. I know for me, I drink coffee, I drink green tea all the time. So those are a really good tip to take to boost your metabolism. Another one would be for nutrition is maybe eating spicy foods. That will certainly help. And eating a lot of spicy foods, they have a significant weight loss effect, but also partake in a healthy diet, and it can certainly help. So that's just a little quick tip, adding it to your nutrition plan. And it's not a must, but it's definitely, it can help every little bit, right? And so earlier we were talking about caffeine and green tea. We want to make sure we don't take those too late, because we want to make sure our sleep is top notch, right? Sleep is one of the first habits that we talk about when we start our program, because without having good quality sleep, losing weight can seem very difficult. Sleep without, good quality sleep, this can definitely grind your metabolism and put it at a halt. Not sleeping well can definitely disrupt your appetite, hormones, and all of these things. When you don't sleep well, your cravings increase, and ensure that you are getting enough restful sleep to keep your metabolism functioning well. So again, that is one of the number one things that we talk about in our nutrition program, and I give you tips on what exactly to do to help you get the perfect sleep. And last but not least, when I first started talking about boosting your metabolism, is really the quality of life that you have, and making sure that you're managing your stress is something that will be a serious cause of a metabolic disturbance, right? It can really disrupt your hormones. It can really partake in how your cortisol levels react. So taking time to consciously relax in order to really minimize the impact of your metabolism. Because if you're stressing, if you're always on the fly, if you're always on the go, if you're traveling, if you're having all of these things and not giving time for your mind to digest as well, it will be very hard for your metabolism to keep up with that. And so our stress does affect our metabolism. So that's another thing that we talk about in our program when we're trying to lose weight. So these are just a few of the tips. So let's just go back and rewind and go back and talk about a little bit, just give you a list of what we talked about today. Number 1 is fill up on protein. Number 2 is drink more water. Number 3 is exercising, whether it's a HIIT class, strength training class, or just moving throughout the day. Like I mentioned earlier before, a good number for you to partake in is maybe, if you have an Apple Watch, about 10,000 steps per day. Next step would have been drinking green tea or caffeine, or partaking in eating some spicy foods. Next would be sleeping well. And lastly, but most importantly, would be really de-stressing your day. So, if you are trying to boost your metabolism, maximize your basal metabolic rate, then you need to try these tips. Let me know if this was helpful for you. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're having trouble, if you tried losing weight in the past, if that's something that your goal is for 2024, I would love to work with you. Reach me, email me. I'll have all of the links below, including the peak tea as well. I'm so glad you joined me today, and we will talk next time. Bye.